David's Saturday AI Thoughts, Episode 12, May the 9th, 2026. Choosing is the work. What's on my mind? Gothenburg Airport, Saturday morning. Alone. Tired. My notebook is open at a page that has been bothering me for weeks. The left-hand page lists 19 things. Reports, dashboards, websites, custom tools, economic models, all built quickly in the last few weeks for clients. A good handful earned the response that the work was better than what an entire team used to spend weeks delivering. These are very senior people at the top of their careers, the kind who ask for revisions in seconds if the work is subpar. The work wasn't lazy or thin, and yet most have been opened, appreciated, and then quietly abandoned. Some haven't been mentioned in weeks. The building is fine. The unused is what stands out. The right-hand page lists more than 19 more. Built for me, by me. Things I judge good and important enough to make. Many I've never shared. Few have been properly used. Same outcome. The cost of building almost anything you can describe has fallen close to zero. A report that took a fortnight in early 2022 takes an afternoon now. A dashboard that took a quarter takes a day. A custom tool that needed 3 engineers needs 1 curious person. The bottleneck used to be the build, not anymore. I've been thinking about this from 2 angles this week. I'm now realizing they're the same question. Take the first angle. What to build? Most of you are either AI capable or have AI capable people on your team. Either way, you can produce a report on any topic in under an hour. You can stand up a dashboard before lunch. You can run an analysis that would once have justified a 6-figure project fee. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. Each project has real costs, even though the building is cheap. Time to brief. Time to check. And a bigger cost, harder to see. Every project was a project not built in that time. With this kind of power in your hands, the question is, what else could you have pointed it at? Something bigger, surely. I don't think those 19 projects were useless. Some may have been. But the pattern forced a harder question on me. Why is it now so easy to make something impressive and still so hard to make something matter? The second angle, where the saved hour goes. I've been keeping count for a couple of weeks as an experiment. Of all the conversations I've had, only 6 people have brought up the hour AI gives them back and what they're doing with it. 6. Here's what they chose. A partner at a consultancy has put theirs into a new project, one through a Sunday spent building a pitch with AI they otherwise wouldn't have won. 3 more were like this. Working later, working weekends, seizing the chance to do more of the career they love now that it's more efficient. One person told me they've stopped being stuck in the mechanics and gone deeper into client relationships. Another told me they've put their hour into coaching their team. Each one at least decided. But none I know of chose reading more books. None chose picking the kids up from school, more date nights with their partners, more time with friends, more community work, or more sleep. 6 people chose. Each one chose more of their career. I listened because I realized I hadn't been deciding. My hour has gone back into more of the work I love. Drift, not decision. If you can have any report, dashboard, website, model, analysis, briefing or workflow you want, the building isn't the value. The choice is what gets built, who uses it, what changes because of it, where your own saved hour goes, whose problems you or your AI-capable people work on next week. None of these are technical questions. They're the only questions left. What's remarkable is 3.5 years since AI could meaningfully help all of us to do our jobs, how few people are using their AI superpower to change anything at all. Most are using it to do more of the same thing. Faster. The economics of their business are basically unchanged. 5% better by one candid estimate this week, more on that below. People's weeks look similar. The clients they serve are similar. The problems they take on are similar. The hour comes back, and the hour goes into evolving the same machine. The thing they can now build is the same thing they were already building, just a bit better, quicker, and easier. It feels, collectively, like failure. Look at what we have in common. My 19 client projects, my own 19 plus, the 6 people who told me how their hour goes, and the hour I haven't been spending on purpose. Nobody in any of those numbers chose much. We built what we could build. We worked longer hours. The new tool went into the old shape. Choosing well is now the work. Not choosing or choosing the obvious thing is failure. Everything else is just typing. 2 questions I'm answering more explicitly from here that I wasn't a fortnight ago. First, which projects and problems are actually worth it? I'd been answering all of them by default, because I could. What fun, not anymore. I want to work on things that change something that matters. That's possible now, easier than ever before. Second, where the hour goes. More work isn't the problem. Automatic, more work is. I choose more date nights with Teresa, more books, more running and yoga. Autonomy over drift, intentionality over default. 2 choices, choosing is the work. How about yours? Here are 3 things worth knowing this week. Number 1, AI adopting firms are growing headcount, not cutting it. A Goldman Sachs analysis circulating this week, charted by Callum, economics writer at The Economist, shows US firms that have adopted AI report net positive employment growth across the past 6 months. Finance, insurance, arts and entertainment sit at the positive end. Transportation and food service show modest decreases. The all-industries balance is positive. Self-reported firm data has its limits and the window is narrow. The direction matters anyway. An answer I deeply hoped would be true. I hope it turns out to be. The Jevons paradox playing out. AI adopting firms are growing because productivity gains are expanding what their people can do faster than they are replacing them. The risk is falling behind the firms whose people are using AI to scale. Number 2, 5%, not 50, the candid private equity number. Pete Stavros, co-head of global private equity at KKR, the buyout firm, told the room at the Milken Institute conference last week that AI is improving portfolio company earnings by about 5%, not the 50% that a revolutionary technology like this should offer. 5% across a portfolio of billions is real money. It's also a long way from the scale of growth many hope for from AI. The gap between what feels possible and the spreadsheet says something about where the bottleneck actually sits. These days, it isn't the AI. Number 3, both AI labs went into private equity the same day. On Monday, Anthropic, the AI lab behind Claude, announced a $1.5 billion vehicle with Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, and Hellman and Friedman, the private equity giants. Engineers from Anthropic will embed inside the consortium's mid-market portfolio companies and build custom Claude workflows. The same day, OpenAI, Anthropic's rival, finalized a $10 billion joint venture with TPG, Brookfield, Bain, Advent, and SoftBank, pricing in a 17.5% guaranteed annual return for the financial sponsors. Google, the search company, is reportedly in talks to do the same with Gemini, its own model. What was reported as AI labs raise more money is a category change. The frontier labs are turning into distribution-led services firms with a model attached. The forward-deployed engineer pattern, lifted from Palantir, the data analytics firm, competes directly with the bottom of management consulting and the top of systems integration. My worry is they're engineering systems to replace humans, not amplify them. We know how these firms work. PE has run the same playbook for 40 years. Cut first, lift later, if at all. Surely the biggest unlock from AI is the opposite move. People making sharper, more confident decisions because they have a tool thinking alongside them. That kind of value compounds. The kind a forward-deployed engineer hard codes into a workflow does not.
Three things to try. Number 1, push it harder, then skillify, then iterate. The simplest workflow upgrade I've coached this year, and it stacks. Push it harder. When the model gives you a perfectly reasonable answer, tell it to do more searches and use credible sources. 3 extra words. The next round does real research, cross-references government sources, and surfaces what the first pass skipped. Skillify it. When a session produces something useful, ask the AI to turn the exchange into a reusable skill, a folder with a description and a prompt any future session can pick up. Iterate. When the skill misbehaves, just tell it, change yourself so X. it rewrites itself in place. Works particularly well in Claude, Anthropic's chat tool, where skills are first class. Prompts for each step are on my website. Number 2, shadow your most AI-pilled employee for 2 days. Matt Stockton, an operator and investor, made the case this week. Find the rabbit-holed colleague who already knows what they're doing, watch how they actually work for 2 days, then do the same work yourself for a week. AI lives on command lines right now, it does not live in PowerPoint jargon slides. Most senior leaders consume AI through polished demos and vendor decks, then make strategy decisions with no felt sense of the technology's real constraints. The cheapest fix costs nothing. A list of the questions to ask while you shadow is on my website. Number 3, ask AI to build you an HTML slide deck instead of PowerPoint. Just ask. Build me a slide deck on this topic in a single HTML file. Most chat tools can do this now. Why bother? PowerPoint output from AI is uneven, with broken chevrons, misrendered shapes, and 2 hours of touch-up. HTML slides come back closer to ready, are infinitely easier to edit. You just talk to the file, and unlock things PowerPoint can't do. An inline edit button, an AI spoken narration, a presenter view that asks the model questions during Q&A. The basic ask works on its own. This is one where the richer prompt on my website really pays off, with extras like the edit button and a few of the patterns we've learned this year about HTML decks specifically.
What readers said. Readers' letters were light last week, so I'll just thank 2 readers for saying nice things. One, at a major broadcaster, wrote in to say the newsletter is one of the best things they get each week, which was lovely to hear. And, separately, the second reader this month told me they read it at a child's Saturday morning sports activity. I'm starting to wonder how many of you are reading it from a sideline somewhere. Thanks for the nice words. I'll pick up on the substance of the letters again next week.
My take on what readers who've replied to this newsletter are posting on LinkedIn this week, the through line was the people and process side, not the tools. Samir Modder, an analytics and ad effectiveness leader, posted the sharpest reframe: stop treating killer prompts as the skill. The right toolkit for talking to a machine trained on human language is human empathy. Sarah Lloyd, Group Communications and AI Director at Pan Macmillan, the publisher, came back from the Bologna AI Summit with the line that landed, "All or nothing, thinking on AI is the biggest trap," and the publishers finding the middle way are doubling down on the human element as a deliberate strategy, not nostalgia. Tim Ryan, my Steadman co-founder, shared Microsoft data showing culture and managerial support drive roughly twice the AI impact of individual mindset, and named the term most leadership teams haven't yet, blocked agency. And if you want one concrete thing to try this weekend, Connor McCarthy, an independent consulting advisor, posted a sharp Notebook LM exercise. Feed it your CV, your LinkedIn profile, and your personal website. Click Audio Overview and listen back to 2 AI hosts discuss your career like a radio show about you.
That's it for David's Saturday AI Thoughts this week. This is a faithful reading of the email edition. The full written version with all the links and sources, plus 3 bits that didn't fit, full reader letters, and full community voices, is at stedman.ai. Thanks for listening.